Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Hotspot with Loveth and Favor, your ultimate destination for the juiciest gossip, exclusive movie insights, and the latest celebrity updates. Subscribe now. Amanda was a young, beautiful girl born into poverty and grew up in the ghetto of Lagos. She grew up in a rundown neighborhood where opportunities seemed as scarce as water in a desert. Raised by a single mother who struggled to make ends meet, Amanda learned the harsh reality of life at a young age. She watched her mother work multiple jobs just to put food on the table. Yet, it was never enough. They lived paycheck to paycheck, one unexpected expense away from disaster. As Amanda entered her teenage years, the weight of financial burden bore down on her shoulders. With her mother's health deteriorating and medical bills piling up, Amanda felt the weight of responsibility crushing her spirit. She longed for a way out, a glimmer of hope in the darkness that enveloped their lives. It was during this time of desperation that Amanda encountered Marcus, a charming but deceitful man who promised her a better life. Vulnerable and naive, Amanda fell for his sweet words and false promises, only to find herself trapped in a web of deceit and manipulation. Initially, Marcus's promises of a better life seemed like a lifeline in the midst of her family's struggles. He showered her with attention, gifts, and extravagant promises, preying on her vulnerability and longing for escape. Marcus introduced Amanda to a glamorous lifestyle filled with parties, expensive dinners, and seemingly endless opportunities. However, it didn't take long for Amanda to realize the true nature of Marcus's intentions. Beneath the facade of luxury lay a world of exploitation and degradation. Slowly but surely, Marcus coerced Amanda into the dark underworld of prostitution. With her mother's medical bills mounting and the pressure to provide for her family intensifying, Amanda felt she had no choice but to comply. Each transaction left her feeling more hollow and ashamed. But she convinced herself that it was a necessary sacrifice for the greater good. As time went on, Amanda became numb to the indignity of her situation. She buried her feelings deep beneath a facade of confidence and detachment, adopting the persona of a seductive temptress to mask her inner turmoil. In the eyes of her clients, she was nothing more than a commodity to be bought and sold, devoid of humanity or worth. Despite the facade, Amanda's spirit remained unbroken. Deep down, she clung to a flicker of hope that one day she would find a way out of the darkness that had consumed her life. But with each passing day, that hope grew dimmer as the cycle of exploitation tightened its grip. Eventually, Amanda became a well-known figure in the underground world of prostitution. Her name widespread in hushed tones among those who sought her services. She was admired for her beauty and desired for her allure, but beneath the surface, she remained a prisoner of her circumstances. Despite the despair that threatened to consume her, Amanda never lost sight of her ultimate goal, to provide a better life for her family. Every penny she earned was a small step towards that dream, a glimmer of light in the darkness of her existence. But even as she toiled in the shadows, Amanda never forgot who she was beneath the layers of deception and desperation. Deep down, she remained the same young girl from the ghetto of Lagos, with dreams and aspirations that refused to be extinguished. And though her journey had taken her down a path she never could have imagined, Amanda held onto the hope that one day she would find her way back into the light. As Amanda sat in the dimly lit bar, her mind heavy with the weight of her circumstances, she never expected her fate to take such an unexpected turn. Amidst the clinking of glasses and murmurs of conversation, she caught the eye of a distinguished-looking man across the room. His gaze held a mixture of curiosity and intrigue, and Amanda couldn't help but feel a flicker of apprehension stir within her. The man approached her with a confidence that bordered on arrogance, yet there was a sincerity in his eyes that caught her off guard. He introduced himself as Alexander Hawthorne, A young billionaire entrepreneur known for his shrewd business acumen and ruthless determination. But it was his unexpected proposition that left Amanda speechless. Alexander explained that he needed a nanny for his young twins, and something about Amanda had caught his attention. He saw beyond the facade she presented to the world, recognizing a strength and resilience that few possessed. Despite the skepticism and disapproval of those around him, Alexander offered Amanda the opportunity of a lifetime to work for him as the nanny to his children. For Amanda, it was a chance to escape the suffocating confines of her current existence, to step into a world of luxury and privilege she had only ever dreamed of. But as she weighed the offer, she couldn't shake off the nagging doubts that crept into her mind. Could she really live the life she had known for so long? But on the other thought, this would help her raise money faster and with more dignity for her mother's survival. The whispers of dissent grew louder as news of Alexander's unconventional choice spread throughout the community. Many scoffed at the idea of a former prostitute being entrusted with the care of his precious children, questioning his judgment and casting doubt on Amanda's character. But Alexander remained steadfast in his decision, as he saw in Amanda a kindred spirit whose past does not define her future. As Amanda wrestled with her decision, she found herself drawn to Alexander's unwavering belief in her potential. He saw beyond the stigma and judgment that clouded her past, recognizing the depth of her compassion and the fierceness of her determination. Moreover, in his eyes, she saw a glimmer of hope for a better future, not just for herself, but for her family as well. In the end, Amanda made the choice to accept Alexander's offer, knowing that it would irrevocably change the course of her life. Uncertain of what exactly this new life would hold, she bid farewell to the familiar streets of Lagos and stepped into a world of opulence and privilege to work as a nanny. A world she had only ever glimpsed from afar. After Amanda accepted Alexander's offer to become the nanny for his children, he took every precaution to ensure the safety and well-being of his precious twins. Understanding the nature of Amanda's previous profession, Alexander knew that he needed to take extra measures to guarantee that she posed no risk to his family. As part of the hiring process, Alexander arranged for comprehensive STD and HIV tests to be conducted on Amanda. This test was not only a matter of ensuring the physical health of his children, but also a testament to his commitment to Amanda's well-being. He wanted her to know that he valued her as a person, regardless of her past, and that he would do everything in his power to support and protect her, since she would become the nanny of his children. Fortunately, the results of the test came back negative, alleviating any concerns Alexander may have had. With this confirmation, he welcomed Amanda into his home with open arms, trusting her implicitly to care for his children as if they were her own. It was a gesture of trust and acceptance that meant the world to Amanda, reaffirming her decision to leave behind her old life and embrace this new opportunity with gratitude and determination. But as she settled into her new role as nanny to Alexander's children, Amanda discovered that her journey was far from over. Despite the challenges and obstacles that lay ahead, she was determined to prove herself worthy of trust placed in her and to forge a new path for herself and her family against all odds. And in the eyes of the man who had changed her life forever, she found the strength to believe that anything was possible. Amanda's journey as the nanny for Alexander's children was one filled with unexpected twists and turns. But perhaps the most surprising of all was the blossoming of her feelings for the billionaire himself. At first, she had been wary of Alexander, uncertain of his intentions and cautious of the privilege and power that surrounded him. But as she spent more time in his presence, caring for his children and witnessing the depth of his compassion and integrity, she found herself drawn to him in ways she never could have imagined. It started with stolen glances and lingering touches, innocent gestures that soon evolved into something deeper and more profound. Amanda found herself captivated by Alexander's kindness and generosity, his unwavering dedication to his family, and his genuine concern for those around him. She admired the way he balanced his responsibilities as a father with his demanding career, and she marveled at the strength and resilience that lay beneath his polished exterior. As their bond grew stronger, Amanda dared to entertain the possibility of a future with Alexander, allowing herself to imagine a life filled with love and happiness by his side. But just as she began to let her guard down and open her heart to the possibility of love, fate intervened in the cruelest of ways. It started innocently enough, with subtle hints and veiled threats from Alexander's ex-girlfriend and mother of his children, Victoria. Amanda had sensed the tension between them from the moment she arrived, but she never could have imagined the depths of Victoria's jealousy and resentment. As Amanda's presence in Alexander's life grew more pronounced, Victoria's bitterness turned to outright hostility, and she vowed to stop at nothing to rid herself of the woman she saw as a threat to being with Alexander, which would ensure her own happiness. Unknown to Amanda, Victoria began to devise a sinister plan to eliminate her rival once and for all. She used her considerable resources and connections to gather information about Amanda's past, digging up dirt that she could use to tarnish her reputation and undermine her relationship with Alexander. Victoria knew that she couldn't compete with Amanda's genuine affection for Alexander, so instead, she sought to destroy the very foundation of their budding romance. With ruthless efficacy, Victoria set her plan in motion, orchestrating a series of events designed to discredit and ultimately destroy Amanda. She spread malicious rumors about Amanda's past, painting her as a manipulative gold digger who was only interested in Alexander for his money and status. She even went so far as to fabricate evidence of alleged affair between Amanda and one of Alexander's rivals, hoping to drive a wedge between them and sow seeds of doubt in Alexander's mind. But Victoria's most diabolical scheme was yet to come. In a desperate bid to rid herself of Amanda once and for all, she hired a notorious hitman to eliminate her rival permanently. Unknown to Alexander or Amanda, Victoria set the wheels in motion for a deadly confrontation that would threaten to tear their lives apart. As Amanda went about her daily routine, unaware of the danger that lurked just beyond the shadows, Victoria's hired hitman stalked her every move, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. And when the moment finally arrived, and when Amanda least expected it, tragedy struck with devastating force. It happened late one night as Amanda was returning home from a long day at work. She never saw the masked figure lurking in the darkness, never heard the soft whisper of footsteps as he closed in for the kill, and by the time she realized that she was in danger, it was already too late. The attack was swift and brutal, a vicious assault that left Amanda battered and broken, fighting for her life in the cold embrace of the night. But even as she lay bleeding and helpless, her thoughts were consumed not by fear or pain, but by the will to live to take care of her ailing mother, and also by the man she loved and the life that she might have shared together. As Amanda lay on the cold floor, her world spinning out of control, her trembling hand reached for her phone, a lifeline in the darkness of the night. With every ounce of strength she could muster, she managed to swipe the screen and answer the call that would change everything. On the other end of the line, Alexander's voice was filled with concern and panic as he listened to the desperate words tumbling from Amanda's lips. "I'm dying," she whispered, her voice barely above a hoarse whisper. But it was enough to send a jolt of fear coursing through Alexander's veins. Without a moment's hesitation, Alexander sprang into action, his heart pounding with a mixture of dread and determination. Ignoring the protest of his security detail and the frantic pleas of his staff, he raced towards the location Amanda had managed to convey, his mind consumed with thoughts of the woman taking very good care of his children. In that moment, he realized how much he loved and cherished her and the possibility of losing her forever. As he navigated the darkened streets, his only thought was of reaching Amanda in time, of holding her in his arms and whispering words of comfort and reassurance. And though the distance between them seemed impossibly vast, Alexander refused to let anything stand in his way, determined to do whatever it took to save the woman who had captured his heart. As Alexander raced to Amanda's side, his heart heavy with fear and anguish, he vowed to do whatever it took to bring her attacker to justice and to ensure that she received the care and support she needed to heal. And as Amanda clung to life in the face of overwhelming adversity, she held on to the hope that love would triumph over darkness and that together she and Alexander would find their way back to each other, stronger and more determined than ever before. As Amanda fought for her life in the hospital, Alexander's concern extended beyond her well-being to the welfare of her family, particularly her ailing mother. With a heavy heart, he learned of the dire circumstances surrounding Amanda's mother's health, a battle against kidney issues that had left her reliant on dialysis, with the looming necessity of surgery in India, a prospect hindered by financial constraints. Determined to alleviate the burden weighing on Amanda's shoulders, Alexander sprang into action. He made discreet inquiries, gathering information about the best medical facilities and specialists in India, and swiftly arranged for Amanda's mother to receive the treatment she so desperately needed. But his generosity didn't stop there. Recognizing the immense strain that Amanda's family was under, Alexander made the selfless decision to personally finance her mother's surgery. He spared no expense in ensuring that she would receive the highest standard of care, arranging for her transportation to India and covering all medical expenses without hesitation. For Alexander, it was a small price to pay to ease the suffering of the woman who had given Amanda life and to honor the bond shared with the woman he loved. As Amanda continued her recovery in the hospital, unaware of the tireless efforts Alexander was making on behalf of her family, he worked tirelessly behind the scenes to coordinate every detail of her mother's journey to India. From securing travel arrangements to liaising with medical professionals, he left no stone unturned in his quest to ensure that Amanda's mother received the best possible care. Alexander made the decision to keep his actions hidden from Amanda, choosing instead to shoulder the burden alone in order to spare her any unnecessary pain or worry as she recovered from the injuries sustained from the attack. It was a decision born out of love and deep-seated desire to protect the woman who had captured his heart. As days passed and Amanda's strength slowly returned, Alexander watched over her with a mixture of admiration and affection, grateful for the opportunity to play a small part in her journey towards recovery. And though he knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges and obstacles, he was determined to stand by her side every step of the way, ready to offer his unwavering support and unconditional love for as long as she would have him. As Amanda returned to Alexander's home, she learned of Alexander's kindness towards her mother. Her heart overflowed with gratitude for his selfless acts of kindness towards her mother. She was deeply touched by his generosity and moved by the lengths he had gone to ensure her mother's well-being. With tears of gratitude shining in her eyes, she struggled to find words to express her immense appreciation. "Your mother would be back in 2 months. I ensured she is given the best medical attention," Alexander reassured her, his voice filled with warmth and compassion. Amanda's heart swelled with emotion at his words, knowing that her mother was in good hands, thanks to his intervention. Overwhelmed by the magnitude of Alexander's kindness, Amanda felt a deep sense of indebtedness towards him. "What can I do to repay you?" she asked, her voice trembling with emotion. But Alexander simply shook his head, a gentle smile playing on his lips. "There is nothing you need to do, Amanda. Seeing you safe and healthy is all the repayment I need," he replied, his eyes filled with sincerity. And as Amanda gazed into his eyes, she knew that she would never be able to fully express the depth of her gratitude for all that he had done for her and her family. But amidst the warmth and gratitude that filled the air, there lingered a shadow of fear and uncertainty. The memory of the attack that had nearly claimed Amanda's life still haunted them both, casting a pall over the newfound sense of security. Determined to bring the perpetrators to justice, Alexander wasted no time in mobilizing a team of investigators to uncover the truth. The investigation was meticulous and thorough, spanning weeks of painstaking work, as the detectives combed through evidence and interviewed witnesses in search of leads. With each passing day, the net drew tighter around the individuals responsible for Amanda's attack, their identities slowly coming into focus. And then finally, a breakthrough. A witness came forward with crucial information that led the investigators to a suspect, a disgruntled former associate of Alexander's with ties to none other than Victoria, his baby mama. As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, it became clear that the attack on Amanda had been orchestrated by Victoria herself, driven by jealousy and resentment over Alexander's growing affection for Amanda. Armed with this damning evidence, the police moved swiftly to apprehend the perpetrators, bringing them to justice before the courts. In accordance with the Nigerian justice system, Victoria and her accomplices were charged with conspiracy to commit murder, assault, and other related offenses, facing the full weight of the law for their heinous actions. In a landmark trial that captivated the nation, the evidence against Victoria and her co-conspirators were presented before the courts of law, and justice was served. Victoria was found guilty on all counts. Her mask of deceit turned away to reveal the true extent of her betrayal. And as the judge delivered the verdict, there was a sense of closure and vindication for Amanda and Alexander, knowing that the ones who had sought to destroy them had been held to account for their crimes. In the end, justice prevailed, and Amanda and Alexander were free to move forward with their lives, unburdened by the shadows of the past. And as they embraced each other, united in their triumph over adversity, they knew that their love was stronger than any obstacle they might face, bound together by the bonds of trust, loyalty, and unwavering devotion. With Amanda's mother's successful surgery and her triumphant return home, a sense of joy and gratitude filled the air, marking the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. As Amanda and Alexander stood side by side, surrounded by loved ones, they exchanged vows and pledged their love and devotion to one another in a ceremony filled with hope and promise. For Amanda's mother, witnessing her daughter find happiness and love after years of hardship and struggle was a dream come true. She looked on with tears of joy in her eyes as Amanda and Alexander declared their commitment to each other, knowing that her daughter had finally found the happiness she truly deserved. As they sealed their union with a kiss, the weight of the past fell away, replaced by a sense of renewed purpose and determination to embrace the future together. With their loved ones by their side, Amanda and Alexander embarked on a journey of love and companionship, ready to face whatever challenges life might throw their way. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, kindly let me know in the comments section. Thanks for clicking to watch, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I encourage you all to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell so that you would not miss any of our future uploads. Your support means the world to us, so please like and share our videos, and do not hesitate to leave your thoughts and feedback in the comment section. Together, let's continue to grow and foster a vibrant community around our shared passion for film and entertainment. Thank you all for your continuous support. See you all in the next episode.